Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to do a quick video on a few things today that are kind of irking me. I sort of went off earlier and really let people know how I was feeling. Um, there was a recent article I saw for Washington State declaring that citizens are going to have to get some kind of chip in their ID card now that will tax them based upon their miles on the road. And the reason for this is, with the more efficient vehicles we're getting now, like hydrogen and electric cars, the gasoline tax is not covering the government's need for it. So what are they going to do now? They're going to fucking try and tax us as we drive? Are you fucking kidding me? Is this not the most outrageous, pathetic, desperate attempt by the government you have ever heard of? How can you even do that legally? And if this bill passes, I hope that people will riot in this state, because I know I will. That's the most obscene thing I've ever heard of. It's another sign of our desperate government trying to keep the slaves from liberation. Meanwhile, our military uses hydrogen fuel, and they're not taxed for it, are they? No, they get tax money. It's the civilian people who are the slaves to the government. If you are a civilian, you are a slave. Period. There's no arguing about that. Another thing that came up today was the chemtrails, geoengineering, terraforming conspiracy that's going on all around us. To everybody that tells you, oh, that's not true, that's just paranoia, look up in the sky. Do you see chemtrails? They're there. And don't let them tell you they're contrails. Contrails dissipate right away. Chemtrails remain. And it's a form of weather manipulation. So, I recently saw there was an article that came out. Somebody raised up enough funding to erect a billboard, I believe it was in Georgia somewhere, about geoengineering. It's a giant billboard, and it says, "You're being sprayed like a bug. Raise awareness of geoengineering." Wonderful, right? Just wonderful. So, seeing as I'm a poor man, and I don't have the money, or the networks, or the ability currently to get a fundraiser going to erect a billboard, the best way I can figure to raise awareness is to contact our local meteorologists from our news outlets. Now here in Spokane, our local news stations are KHQ News, KXLY News, and KREM2 News. Many times I have sent them messages, emails, calls, everything, saying, please, can you run some kind of segment on even just the possibility of chemtrails being real and geoengineering being real. Not saying it has to be real, just run a segment on the facts at hand and the evidence that we currently have, which is overwhelmingly able to confirm it. I've never received any sort of reply. I've always been polite in my correspondence with our local media outlets. Never once given the time of day for a reply. But I see other people who post, other things, and they get replies. But I never get anything. Isn't that a coincidence? So, I challenge all of our local news media outlets to reveal the truth of terraforming and geoengineering. I challenge you all to do it. The sad part is most meteorologists probably don't even know about it themselves. All they do is read their teleprompter and collect their paycheck. More fucking slaves, right? So I'm going to keep contacting them. I'm going to keep reaching out to them and saying, hey, but I need your help, everyone. We need to organize. We need to get united on this. One person is not enough. We need a vast majority of people. And it's just a matter of time now, because the government continues to run out this ridiculous legislation, these ridiculous taxes, stomping on our liberty and destroying our freedom with strokes of a pen in Washington. It's fucking pathetic, everybody. And anybody out there who supports our government, who supports our military, you're fucking pathetic, and you're a coward. You're an infant, incapable of supporting yourself, dependent upon a corrupt organization known as our United States government to support you, because you have no ambition in your life to do anything better than to just be a slave and run in your hamster wheel every fucking day. You make me fucking disgusted with your existence. You will all burn in the lake of fire where you deserve to be. If you do not wish to create a better world, if you have no ambition to create freedom and liberty and truth for us, then you don't deserve to be on the planet where I'm going to. Because I'm creating a world of truth and abundance and equality and justice. You are all fucking slaves. And if you don't wake up soon, you're going to be led like lambs to the slaughter. So yeah, that's about it, everybody. I'm just about fucking done. I'm done with these fucking life. It's pathetic, you know? Anybody of true righteousness, true honor, and truth is purposely put into poverty. It's such a grand scope of things that people who can't comprehend it simply dismiss it and say, oh, you're a shill, you're paranoid, you're delusional, blah, blah, blah. All of the people who say that are either paid shills by the government to say that, or they lack the education to know it themselves, and it's simply easier for them to dismiss it. Mark Twain himself said, it's easier to fool people than to convince people they have been fooled. And indeed, that's the truth. As long as people have their everyday comforts, their television, their beer, their fast food, their music, their Hollywood, they don't seem to care about what's going on behind the scenes and what's going to happen to their future generations. So again, if you lack ambition, then you're fucking pathetic. You're scum underneath my boot. And you will be judged upon your deeds in life and your lack of ambition. So again, please help me, everybody. If you're not somebody who lacks ambition, if you know the truth of what's going on, then do something about it. Speak up about it. Speak out about it. Even if it isolates you from your friends, because those people are not your friends. Your friends are people who will support you no matter what you say. I never saw a disagreement as a means of discerning friendship. You can be friends with someone and still have a disagreement. It's called cognitive dissonance. However, you can only tolerate so much of it before you just become disgusted with it and you're done. So, I don't know, everybody. I don't know what else to say. I've said enough. Time's running out. Wake the fuck up before you're dead.